You are humming that for the rest of the day. Those are really catchy lyrics, and our wonderful ministry partner, Kevin Cates, also known as KO, is Grammy nominated and has put together a curriculum that helps students remember facts like you just saw about those angles.
Where can you get those?
You can get a few of those for free at faithandeducation.com, and they're a part of Education Sunday, which is the first Sunday of every September, and churches all over the country celebrate education equity and asking God to help every child have education equity in the United States. And so we want to encourage you to be a part of that, and we certainly have scholarships ready for you and your students as well. Well, I want to jump into the interview that we have today in studio, and that is with Reverend Israel Villalobos, who serves as a pastor at Plymouth Park Baptist Church, where he preaches and oversees the Spanish service. He is happily married to Christine, such a lovely woman. We're very grateful for Christine. And they have a recent newborn, Israel Christopher. And so we want to welcome you. We're excited that you're here, and know that you have worked with many students during your time in ministry. And we kind of got to see your love story with Christine unfold, and that was exciting to see. But I'd love to know, what have you learned about really connecting with students?
You know, a lot of individuals sometimes ask me, what do you recommend? I'm now the youth leader. It's me now. I'm up. And something I learned is that they need consistency and that they need change. So it's kind of hard to do both of those, but you need to be consistent in their lives. You need to show them that you care, and you need to have change, because they're going to get tired and bored of it. What was cool yesterday is not cool today. But something that is always practical and very relevant is the Word of God. And so something that I know can be applied in your life if you are getting to the point to where you need to connect with the youth. There's kids in the neighborhood, and I need to connect with them. I'm the youth leader. I need to connect with them. I need to start up a program. I need to get involved at the YMCA, at the rec center. And if that person is you, hopefully you are also involving, like the pastor that we just heard from, the Word of God and things like that. But Genesis chapter 12. Verse 1 through 7, we understand that Abram was going through something in life, and the Lord wanted him to connect to something and leave what you're connected to now to be connected to something else in the future.
The change part.
Huge change, and he wasn't probably ready for it, but, we notice a few things that we can apply. And so if you will allow for me to read the text, and then we'll draw what we noticed from it. So in verse 1, the Lord had said to Abram, leave your country, what you know, right? What you're connected to, your people and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. Verse 2 and 3, we just notice a lot of promises and the things that he was going to get. Verse 4, he says, so Abram left after that instruction, as the Lord had told him, and Lot his nephew went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Verse 6, Abram traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Moreh of Shechem. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. Verse 7, the Lord appeared to Abram. A few things that we can draw from here is that there was clear instruction. Listen, I know that maybe you don't want to see the instruction in your life right now to get connected with certain students, but you've seen the instruction. And right away we noticed that he, in verse 4, had instant obedience. I encourage you to have instant obedience, to get involved with the youth group, get involved with the program in the community, to get involved with the community, period. Because the Lord can use you in great and mighty ways. And I know that when you do get involved, because maybe you will obey, you'll have that instant obedience. I can do it. I have the energy. And then you're noticing maybe you don't have the energy to keep up with these kids, to keep up with what's cool. Cool doesn't really matter sometimes. Just check this, stay the course. Just stay the course. He traveled, it says in verse 6. Do you know how hard it is to travel sometimes? The things that are required to travel, the logistics behind it. Yeah, sure, some planning here and there. Sure, it may get hard here and there, but stay the course. And so I encourage you to stay the course regardless of how hard it is, regardless of the difficult circumstances. Stay the course. And we notice that when you're obeying your calling, something beautiful happens. Verse 7, God appears. And he appeared to Abram in a very unique way. He'll appear to you as well. Just stay the course. He'll take you by the hand. He'll lead you. He'll guide you. He'll show you the way. Get connected.
I think there's nothing more empowering than knowing what God has called you to do.
Sure.
And if we can help students to get a picture of what God has called them to do,
sure,
then get out of the way, because they're going to go somewhere. They're going to be something. They're going to be really, get out. Don't let anything get in the way. They're going to move.
That's right.
But I like what you said about connecting them, connecting to them, connecting them to God, and then change occurs, because you can't be connected to God without having change occur in your life. That transformation of knowing the Word, hearing the Word, and then acting on the Word. Those are powerful words, connect and change. I really like that.
Yeah, I like the consistency and then being able to change, because really what you're inviting us to do is be Christ to those students, because that's what the Lord gives us, is He is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we've got the consistency, but there's an adventure with following Christ, right? So with Abram, think about all those situations that he found himself in as he was journeying, like you said, trying to find food, trying to figure out where they were going to sleep, all of those pieces. And so, the Lord, as I think about my walk with the Lord, there is this adventure that occurs, and wondering, okay, Lord, what is it that I'm called to do today, and how can I ensure that I'm living out my relationship with you in this interaction with students in particular? As we think about connecting, what would you say are some things not to do if you really want to connect with students?
Well, I heard Brother Charles O'Mather say to be present.
Yeah.
And that needs to be genuine.
Yeah.
You can't pretend to listen. You can't pretend to hear what they're saying. You have to be genuine. They know fake.
Yeah.
They get fake, and they've probably seen a lot of fake. So for us, the family of faith, when we're genuine, when we're authentic, when we really pray for them, and we really love them, we really care about them, when we're interested, boy, that message is greater than anything we can say.
I had a ministry partner recently tell me she works in the Bronx, and she said that she was having a really tough time with a student, and that the student said, this program is boring. And she really had a come to Jesus kind of conversation and said, listen, I'm really sorry that you find that this boring. We really try to make it fun for you, but we care about you, and when I hear you say those kinds of things, it actually hurts my feelings, because I care about you so much. But the good news is, since we do care about you, we want to know how to make this fun for you. And she said that from that conversation, every time that she sees that student, he runs up to her because he feels valued now. And he feels like, hey, my ideas are going to count. And so even by acknowledging her own feelings, by saying, hey, this doesn't feel good when you say things like that. I'm sorry to hear that. But inviting them into the process of making it better, something shifted. And I'll tell you, I went to visit them in the Bronx, and the student ran up to her and just embraced her and said, like, hey, I'm so excited about being here. So I think that when we think about connecting, students do want that authenticity, and they want to be a part of whatever it is that you're doing, the program, and giving them a platform to give sometimes a critique, like this part we need to do away with. So we certainly want to continue encouraging you across the country to know that you are in these students' lives for a reason, and that some of these students don't have access to really quality education. And so we want to encourage you to be a part of the advocacy team to get involved in this conversation around ensuring that every student has access to good quality education. So take a look at this video and find out how you can get personally involved.
I think that our biggest problem with our education system is that in different school districts, different states, the goalposts are in different locations. The kids are just not receiving the same quality of education that they do in certain districts.
Welcome back. What a powerful show. It's a powerful God that puts together his sons and daughters to share this message. And so we're so grateful that you've tuned in today. What stands out to you?
The importance of connecting.
Yeah.
And that every mom, every dad, every abuelito, every abuelita, we can connect. We have God's news. It's good news. we need to share that with those that we love.
Yeah, I love what Reverend Charles Omedas talked about being present, really allowing yourself to be eyeball to eyeball with our students. Sometimes we get distracted with work or television or phones.
Just get busy.
And really just look eyeball to eyeball with their students. They hunger for that connection in a very authentic way. There's a word that you can give to that student that no one else can give. And so just like Reverend Charles Omedas explained, that student had never felt valued. And maybe the Lord is calling you to speak life into a student today. And so we just encourage you to pray about who that student is and what you need to tell them. We've heard testimonies of how adults come up to students and pray with them or for them or ask them, what can I be praying about for you? It opens the conversation in a brand new way. We want to encourage you to love the Lord with all of your minds and to equip the students in your life today. We thank you for tuning in. We're excited to connect with you, and we will see you next time. Bye.